Hi, I'm Stu from Brit Hikes Ontario, and this is my journey by hiking trail and by road through Northern Ontario. So join me for the wildlife, nature, birding and beautiful scenery of Northern Ontario. One of the highlights of our trip was going to be Wemay Canyon. Unfortunately, the weather hasn't been cooperating with us, so all you can see is grey. We'd returned to Wemay Canyon, but next visited the Terry Fox National Historic Person plaque outside Thunder Bay. Terry Fox is a Canadian hero, although he never believed it himself. He lost one of his legs to cancer, but embarked upon a cross-Canada run to raise funds for cancer awareness and research. Partway through his run, the cancer returned, forcing him to stop running after 5,383 kilometres. His endeavours have since inspired others to raise over 750 million Canadian dollars in his name. Terry Fox died from his cancer a month before his 23rd birthday. Give us a wave. At Quetico Provincial Park, we hiked the Pickerel River Boardwalk Trail. The boardwalk strafed Pickerel River through woods where we encountered several species of bird before the trail turned back at a beach on French Lake. South of where we're from, in Toronto, is Carolinian forest. Toronto is a mixed forest. North of that is the St. Lawrence Great Lakes biome, and we're now in the southern edge of boreal forest, so we're hoping to see some new species and different forest and that kind of thing. Some of the species we're looking for are the boreal chickadee. There's a couple of woodpeckers we'd like to see, but they're more common around Thunder Bay, which we've since left. Three-toed woodpecker and black-backed woodpecker. What else do we want to see?
Owls.
Owls.
Always owls.
We want to see owls. We've just spotted a black-backed woodpecker. Fall, or autumn, in Ontario is a good time to spot the larvae, or caterpillars, of various types of tussock moth. On many of the trails we hiked, we came across spotted tussock moths. The boreal woods of northern Ontario are made up of more pine trees than further south, and everywhere we looked we saw plenty of American red squirrels. I started messing around, pulling stupid, exaggerated faces of wonderment to try to make Sarah laugh when, suddenly, a bird I hadn't seen before landed right behind me.
Oh, there's a grey jay behind you.
What? And all I got was this terrible shot. As well as the black-backed woodpecker and 2 Canada jays, we also saw lots of white-throated sparrows, a belted kingfisher, wood ducks, some golden-crowned kinglets, red-eyed vireos, and this black-capped chickadee, but unfortunately none of his boreal chickadee cousins. We reached French Lake, but with light drizzle falling, we continued our drive westward and arrived in Fort Frances in the early evening. Sarah, where are we?
Sunera's Provincial Park.
That's good. Watch the trail.
Lookout point.
Lookout point. Is there a lookout at some point? There was indeed a lookout. After completing this trail, we also walked the very short Deer Path Trail, and I was again ambushed by a Canada jay. getting a better shot this time. Our trip was well into the fall warbler migrating season, and we were coming across lots of yellow-rumped warblers everywhere we went. The next stop was Rushing River Provincial Park, where we first hiked the Beaver Pond Trail. After hiking and lunch, we spent some time relaxing, and I captured some photos of the river's rapids. If you recall the map from part 1 of this series, we are now heading towards Dryden. Before we arrived, we had one more stop, at Blue Lake Provincial Park. We walked the Spruce Fen Trail along mostly boardwalk, surrounded by the plant Labrador tea and many tall jack pines. After a busy day visiting 3 provincial parks, we got back onto the road towards Dryden. By now, we were a good way into our trip. We'd covered over 2,000 kilometres, and we were trying not to think about ever having to end our adventure. The isolation, the open skies, the fresh air, the silence. But there was still plenty to look forward to. Some glorious, awe-inspiring, panoramic and adrenaline-inducing views, beautiful drives along Lake Superior, seeing millions of stars for the first time in a decade of living in a big city, and a bittersweet encounter with some wolves. Look out for part 3, and please subscribe on my YouTube channel.